Good morning, Springfield.
And good morning, Will Winter.
Your name's Springfield?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, today it is.
Everybody with the unnecessary pleasure of getting to listen to Dan Burzloff today. This is Will Winter. We're coming to you live here in Springfield with Class 1 Berkshire Gilts. When you get a picture of the skinny guy judging, you'll notice that's Mark Hogue. Certainly a dude that needs no introduction to judging or livestock or pretty much anything. Class 1 Berkshire Gilts. Looks like we got 1st of Feb's and end of January's in here.
Yeah, looks like we got one February gilt from Cade Penley in Oklahoma, and the rest of them are about the last 10 days there in January, looks like.
Mr. Hogue has decided he likes a couple of these. He's pinning right through them. A couple of them he's got pinned over here. Mr. Knauth is judging one that it's not even his. I think he just found it in the parking lot.
Well, he's got the 1035, I believe, in the first pen.
Is it 1035?
At the moment, which is
Leah Anderson.
Leah Anderson from Illinois, which is a Keep Talking non-typical.
Keep talking.
Keep Talking. WTX on the prefix there. Do you know anything about that? Or?
Them dudes are suspect. It's a nice set of these little baby gilts.
Yes, it is.
This whole Berkshire show's got them an uphill battle to try to outdo that show last year. I know we showed in it, but that was one of the better sets of open hogs that I think I'd ever seen or heard about in one show. It was a fun thing to be a part of. The buzz and the excitement of this Berkshire deal keeps growing, and for as good as they are, they just seem to find a way to continue to get better. So it's a good thing to have everybody push each other and everybody still really care to try to make these things better. So.
Yeah, that was one of them. Everybody talks about the sale now afterwards for what they all brought, but that was just one show just to be exciting, just to watch and actually be a part of. I showed a board here last year, and it was just fun. You saw yourself in the ring, even looking at the other hogs in your class, just admiring how good they actually were and how tough the show was. So.
Sure.
And, you look at this first class of gilts, and I think we're kind of maybe in for one of them same kind of deals if this is any indication, because there's some really nice gilts here on the top end of this class.
Absolutely. Jarrett May showing one for Cade Penley, coming out there in second.
And I think third hole, come out of third was Bryce. Bryce Count over there.
He's busting out the great showmanship skills.
Yes.
Missed the belt loop.
Bryce.
But
what would you expect?
I don't know.
It's usually two. So
it's usually two.
I mean,
he's
and he didn't. Well, he missed a button on the shirt too.
He did too. Must be hanging out with that Marcus Miller. Just didn't need to button the shirt up.
He's trying to show off all that chest there he doesn't have.
Yep.
Bryce's gilt, and all joking aside, is a Creature Cadillac.
Creature Cadillac. And then one coming out there in the fifth hole, I believe. That's the sixth hole. It's going back to the sixth hole. Be 130-5.
And there's actually a pair of them litter mates in this particular drive. One is still out there, 30-6. Those are Preacher Man's non-typical. A nice pair, real young, about the last day of January gilts.
Sometimes you get into them first couple of classes, there's lots of variation in presentation or fluff or whatever, and mean, that set of them gilts out there, the guy can kind of latch onto a couple of them things. You're going to have to wait a minute. Maybe they'll cycle someday, but they won't. It's going to be a minute. But those gilts that's a good set to start the day off with.
Yeah, and it looks like maturity-wise, they're all, kind of sitting the same way, where they are still green and young, but they look that, they look the way they're supposed to look at this age, and not carrying a bunch of extra fluff, and still have some frame and extension that they can go on in a month or two will look real good. Sometimes I get surprised people don't hang on to them a little bit longer and go to the next show with them, because all they're going to do a lot of these is get better. So.
Sure.
So take advantage. That's one place you can take advantage if you don't, especially if you want a later litter anyways. Take advantage and buy one of these young gilts and let her get better at your house instead of in somebody else's pen.
Sure. Corn ain't that cheap. Corn ain't that expensive.
No.
Mr. Hogue just used a shotgun approach and just pinned a whole bunch of them at one time, so they're going to get them shuffled together and put them in a pin here in just a second.
Maybe it's one that moves as a judge. You want to test your ring help right away at the beginning of the day. That way you know what you got going into it.
Maybe he just needs to go with baby steps to start with.
Well, looking at the ring help, you may or may not be correct. We will not comment on.
He's getting them ready. Looks like Mr. Hogue's ready with his first class comments.
Like to welcome everyone to the Berkshire show this morning. Been a great week at the CPS Team Purebred event. Lots of activity, lots of positive events have occurred to this point, and we get started this morning. Obviously, nerves settle in, and you try to pick and put the pieces of a puzzle together that you want within a class. We had a couple of gilts that got here just a smidgen late, and so then we re-racked and tried to put an alignment together from a sale order. Really a nice top pair of gilts here with some age difference and variation. Probably the first impression gilt for me is the 103-5 gilt to start out here. Really, really like this gilt's design. I like her hip, where it sets in her framework, I think, in terms of tailhead, length of rump, and that correlates to really a good stride off of her rear leg. I think she's got balance and symmetry. I really like the shape to her head. I like her markings. I think that's a good Berkshire gilt to start this particular class with. The gilt in second, the young gilt within class, and I really like this gilt's tangible pieces out here. She's got a captivating look and presence. I love her head, love the front end and look that this gilt possesses out here. And then for her age and stage and maturity, she really opens up into a nice body shape. She's got a really attractive shape down her top. She's got a large volume of muscle, but it doesn't compromise her ability to get out and go. I think that's really a quality Berkshire gilt for second. The gilt that comes in three, I really like this gilt. Stoutness and boldness of feature. Love her head and front end. Also like the gilts that precede her in class. I thought our top four gilts had a really attractive look. When this gilt goes away, I don't see her quite as correct in terms of where her hock and hind leg drop out of the base of her ham relative to that top pair, but really study that one for her top shape, her length of body, her length of front end. That really looks like a female in my opinion. The 130-6 is not one of those big woofy ribbed ones out here, but I really like this gilt's build. I like her design. I think a really juvenile appearing gilt that looks like she wants to get better with time on feed. Tremendous length from her blade to her hip. Length of stride is good and really an attractive look also. Young man that comes out in pin 4, totally different style. This is a big top, big rib, wide skeleton Berkshire female, and I really like those things about her. She's a little different style out here in terms of her little shorter up front, little shorter in terms of her body length, but I love that gilt's width and stoutness and handles it very well. We'll let them roll just a little quicker. We got a 186-5 gilt here that has similarities to the gilt that was third in terms of shape and muscle and feature. A little more different in terms of her ham loin hookup. Want to smoothen that up just a shade. Want to level her hip up just a notch. The next gilt coming out, one of those really good-bodied, basic sow utility kind of gilts. This gilt structure and design really has tangible value to put back in the sow herd. For me out here, she was a little plainer in her ear set, just a little plainer featured up front, but got her tail set up on her back like a female needs to. Got a good set of running gear. That's a nice one come out of pen 5. The next gilt come out 130-6. Tremendous length of front, tremendous length of body. I want to just have this gilt just show a little more apparent width and open this up to her body. Got a really shapely one in pin 7, ripped up top, really lean, really muscular, really chiseled from those attributes. Just a little dry, a little wound up. Next couple gilts come out, got structure, got muscle. The 170-6 gets a little rounder rump. Then we got a gilt coming out here in 9, just a little green, a little plainer down her top. Great class of Berkshire Gilts, a nice way to start a very competitive show.
Congratulations, winner of Class 1, Leah Anderson, Mount Pulaski, Illinois. Second in class, Cade Penley, Cyril, Oklahoma. Third to Rourke Sisters, Iowa City, Iowa. Fourth, Jared Fearing, Sweet Springs, Missouri. Fifth, Bryce Conover, Baxter, Iowa. Placings from the top down in your catalog should read 1, 5, 8, 4, 9, 10, 7, 6, 3, 11, 2.